Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today, talking about collecting and hoarding and which one you're doing, and no judgment. I think there are a lot of people who are like, whoa, 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 I'm not a hoarder, which probably means you are, but I'm not here to judge anybody. But we need to look at the difference between collecting and hoarding on Sorare because it's easy to do one and think we're doing the other. I'll put it that way. Thanks everyone for coming in. Let's see who we got. Ace Pair, Tommy 2K Sorare, and Tizai on the podium. Tizai's first podium. Congratulations to you three. Tuggy says, I don't see a difference between collecting and hoarding, which is why we're having this conversation today. Ricamon said, this is going to feel like a personal attack. Bob Franklin, what's up? Chris Holt, is this the selling stream? Holty, I don't think that's where we're getting. Maybe we are. I don't know. Anion, what's up? Surfula, thanks for coming in. Mikey Bastin, Major NFT. Mike Bastin, let's lurk. Yeah. I don't think, Mike, you're physically capable of lurking. It takes like one person to make a comment that like we both know is the type of comment, and you'd come in. Braden, what's up? Sporting Classics. Love that name. Afternoon. Major NFT said, I'm a hoarder, I think. Maybe it's collecting. And Mike, I thought I sounded better today, although ironically, I cleared out the room that I'm in right now, doing a little bit of I was about to say I'm doing a little bit of a clean out, but for full transparency, because like I have no reason to lie to you guys. My kids and my wife have been home Friday, like last Friday and Monday. And for those of you who have wives, and maybe all of your wives are not like this, they like, oh, and it's like been horrific weather outside, like super cold. We had a lot of snow and then it's rain and wind. It's just awful weather. And so we're all inside and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we need to clean this up or let's organize this. And it's always presented in like a really not like fun way, but it was like, oh, that thing we've been meaning to do, like, oh, we have the time. And on the list there was a lot of stuff in this room that I'm in. And I took a lot of it out and I've noticed, I feel like a little bit of an echo. And I don't know if you guys hear it because the microphone might be able to do something about that, but like I can hear almost the echo of myself. And so as weird as it sounds, I like my voice sounds better, but maybe the echo doesn't. So I don't know. Toma Ches, hello. Love that. Agent Cooper, don't you hoard Franco Armani's though, Laird? To be fair, I'm just jealous after a start to the season. Just look at those scores. My number one tip on Sorare is to never underestimate old goalkeepers. I wouldn't say that I'm hoarding Franco Armani's. All of those cards have a very specific purpose, or at least they did when I bought them. And I've long been a proponent of taking the risks of banking on players you think are good. And it's the reason I have like multiple versions of lots of cards or lots of player cards. And I think I'm not in a position to compete as wide as I do with completely not random, but like with unique players at each point. And so there is an ease of play by having multiple versions of specific cards. And frankly, it's one of those things that I think will continue as we play Sorare, the way that it happens, that like if you had a player that you used to play in Classic with and you think they're a good player, like you're going to want another one for in season, and eventually you'll have two Classics, and it's just two Classics and then another in, like you'll just keep accumulating. Like I don't think there's like something bad with like having multiple Jude Bellinghams, something like that. Anyway, Brain said, I used pieces that I definitely hoarded from my La Liga collections. They were exiled to Podium Contender D1 Rare this weekend. What does that look like? Braden, I don't think you're Braden Jones. Oops, Jones on Sorare. But we can just go to the leaderboard, I suppose. What was it? Contender. Hold on. We'll do this together. That's what we do here. It's a community effort. For Podium Contender D1 Rare. All right. Contender One of the best competitions, Contender, of course. Contender, D1 Rare. I assume that's Classic. Are you Blue Sea, Braden? Did I never put that together? But let's see. Some La Liga. Whoa. That is not you. So that's not La Liga. I don't know. Fill me in while I catch up with the chat. Paolo said, just collected. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That went well. Major FT, I'm babysitting today. No days off as a parent. Are you babysitting or are you with your own kids today? You baby somebody else's? Helling said, Anthony is a prime example of why collecting is great, especially big teams where any transfer could be an SO5 boost. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Sorry, parenting my youngest. There you go. Cubispo, welcome. Sporting Classics got the kids at home today. Here, house looks like it's been burgled. Yeah. Anyway, O'Brien's an in season. That's even better. Contender in season. That's actually quite impressive. Contender in season. This is Insanity. Insanity ITA. Nope. Hold on. Maybe it's last weekend. Rayo Vallecano got you. People moved from there into, I guess into Contender. That makes sense. Unless you're talking about last weekend. I guess I could look at that. 52. Game week 2, Contender in season. Oh, Braden said, no, I'm in second place. Counted your chickens, Braden. Podium, Laird, not first. Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Okay. This is just awesome content today. All right. Contender in season D1. Nimble FC. Nacho Vidal from Real Oviedo. Montiel from River Plate. Love that. James. That was Vallecano. And Javier Yabres, along with Camilo Vargas. It's funny that Camilo Vargas snuck in there. Whoa! Braden. We got a double podium. Look at, what is this? La Liga in-season D2 Sevilla stack. Wow. This is beautiful. How big is your collection here? 5%, 25 cards, one of, and 2 jersey mints. Wow. Braden, that is awesome. Braden, any idea how much you spent on these cards? It's okay if you don't. Well, it's actually not okay, but like it's understandable. I'll put it that way. And then, so Montiel from the Sevilla collection, which he's at River Plate now and smashing his face off. I didn't realize he had 45 AA with a big chance created. Oh, was that the Colidio miss? Maybe. Anyway, Nacho Vidal from, I don't even know what team that is. What is that? No, what's the card? Mallorca or Osasuna? Where am I looking here? That's Osasuna. Wow. Okay. And then James, I've heard of him, and Javier Yabres. Every single time James does something, I get a DM from Quinny. And you better believe I got one after this game this weekend. Fun card. And Yabres is Mallorca. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Braden said, I certainly spent less than $1,000 for the Sevilla boys. I know that much. I hope so. I mean, that's not fair, but like, yeah. Anyway, GG's. I hope all of those hold for you and you just are swimming in money, because that's great. Looking for Food says, does getting retired players that deserve to be in your own Hall of Fame count as hoarding? Probably. Tobias Lucas. Look how unlucky I was this week in Contender. Could have gone really high. Collection name, Nerazzurri. Let's see. Nerazzurri. I'm not sure what is unlucky about. Ooh. It's funny as I get to it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's the unlucky. Hmm. The old zero from the goalie. I don't even know if that guy still plays. Zelenica? I don't know. Krupti said, we have that account now. Footballer's retirement home on Sorare. He has all those cards people to send him. He doesn't buy those cards though, right? Sorare retirement. Retirement. Footballer, sorry. Yeah, I mean, he's not really paying much for these cards, I suppose. Oh, Steve Clark for a penny. Let's see. Yeah, there's Tony Cruz. 5 cents. Someone gave up Tony Cruz limited for 5 cents. What's the play here? Is it just to like have them? Like, what is it? 1600 limiteds. 21 supers, 326 rares. What is the play here? Like, you can make the argument, and it's not even making an argument. Every single footballer will be retired at some point. And so what's the value in collecting these cards right now? I don't get it. The play is that retired cards will have their own league and act like Legends cards. What legend, like, what do you get from having a Lennart tie Sparta Rotterdam collect like card for so what? I don't even know what to say. I genuinely don't. The reason why I'm struggling with something to say about it is that I haven't seen anything from Sorare that would indicate a willingness to create a contest for these types of cards ever. So that's my struggle. And Mike said Ty hasn't retired. He's just playing in a non-covered league. So like, I get it. I get the like trading idea of, oh, let me buy guys who are in non-covered leagues because maybe they'll come back. That one I get. But it's also like, there are some guys who go to non-covered leagues because they're not good enough to play in covered leagues. And somebody said that he made money on Chesney. So like, I guess and maybe you really do just need one to work. Nanzo said today's hoarders are tomorrow's collectors. Isn't that how collectibles work? Could be. I feel like, Nanzo, I think we're at the point with Sorare that there can't be an expectation that like every card will be collectible because there are too many of them. And that's not to say that like they should reduce the number of cards that they make, but I don't know. That one, sorry, that account really threw me off. Maybe as a one-off contest, not a frequent thing. But even if as a one-off contest, I'm not sure spending resources. And again, like if they're buying cards for literally a penny, maybe that's fine. But I don't know. Is it not the vain hope that the player comes out of retirement and then has resale value a la Chesney? So like, I think that's a phenomenal example of a complete outlier outcome that people will look at and be like, oh, that happened. So that means it can happen again. And like like if we're really, really talking about this, what are the chances that they get that they buy somebody who is retired and went to a covered league who magically becomes, or the expectation that they become the starting goalkeeper at Barcelona. And even if they go to a place, like even if it's not Barcelona, they go to that Barcelona team in Argentina or Brazil. I can't remember where they're. I assume Argentina. Like, are you really going to make that much money for them? I don't know. Maybe. Kripke said he sold a Tarbell Super Rare a couple of months ago for $15. That's a bit painful. Is that painful because it's worth 12 now? I'm just kidding. I know Tarbell. God knows what that is. What does a Tarbell Super Rare? Classic Super Rare go for now? $170. God bless all of you who have faith in the Houston Dynamo. Anyway, the real Barcelona are in Ecuador. Sorry, Surf. Thank you. Of course, Surf knew that. Sorry. The little things at the end of my sweatshirt laces. What are these called? Ties. They're like hard. And they keep hitting the bottom of my mic. So apologies. This is my Sorare sweatshirt, by the way. I might have worn this on Friday. I don't know. I don't even know if I've taken it off since then. Anyway, watch that account get all the Messi cards. That I don't think will ever happen. I think there are just way too many people. Like not enough people are going to sell Messi for a penny. Like that might be collectible. Martin Hinteregger, another one that came out of retirement in January. I actually had his card for a while. This guy came out of retirement. I mean, what are we paying now? $5? And by what are we paying? Meaning one person sold it for $5? Like he came out of retirement in January. Oh, I guess that was last month. Yeah. And where is he now? Austria Klangen so he'll get new cards. Bob said that this thing is called an aglet. It's an aglet. That sounds like a European phrase. But maybe it's not. Aglet in America. I feel like I've heard them called something else, but I could be wrong. No, you guys are right. My apologies. Way to go. Anyway. Yeah, but the floor is 62, so it works. There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I am guilty of hoarding. And I think Harry said I learned, aglet from Disney Channel. Wow. Why? Who was talking about it? Dora? She wears a sweatshirt, doesn't she? You guys probably call it something different. Track jacket, something like that. Phineas and Ferb. Really? Phineas and Ferb was never a popular one in my household. We like that. Yeah. But okay. Man of culture. Harry trades. Harry trades confirmed Phineas and Ferb watcher. All right. All right. Whatever makes you guys happy. I get it. So I was pretty consistently looking for food. Says, does keeping a 50p reward players that you can't be bothered to sell count as hoarding? So I'm glad I'm glad you bring that up because the answer is probably no. And I'm sorry. The answer is probably yes. Anion said, what if there is no thought he just likes to collect these cards for fun? I mean, people collect post stamps. Yeah, it's totally possible. But the looking for food, like the 50p card, like I used to pretty regularly sell my rewards like right away. Not usually to bots, but sometimes to bots. And I stopped doing it. I think we basically got to a point where like bots were too selective. And I'm going to do something here, and I kind of want to apologize, but it's only because I've been here a long time. But if you go on on Sorare data, you can see all the rewards that you've won, all the card rewards. And these are just like card rewards from competitions. Crafted cards are not in here, but you can highlight the ones that you've kept. Now, this is a bit of a lie because I actually got rid of this Joan Umari card and then got it back. And so I didn't like technically keep it. But if you look, like I've sold most of my cards, and like before anyone's like, how could you sell Austin Trusty? This was literally back in game week 158. And fun thing, this Jonathan Mensah card, I was like psyched to win it. Sarchi, what's up? That just made my day. What's up, Sarchi? Anyway, so then, so if you look, like all of the cards that are shaded out are ones that I sold, and it was sold or traded. And to be honest, most of them are probably traded to Pavel in a horrific trade that I lost on. But like, if you look at this, like from when I won this Misaki Watai, super rare. I mean, what is that? 410. I'm not going to go through it, but like I sold all, like didn't keep a single one of these. And like looking back, it looks bad, but like I wasn't going to wait 3 years for like Kai Wagner, Gravenberch. But anyway, like I just got rid of most of mine. I don't even know why I still have some of these. Like I didn't even know I still had this card. I do know that I have this Ringo Mirveld, but if you kind of come to the more recent stuff, like I tend not to sell as much. And part of it is basically maybe I'm hoarding a little bit, or I'm just too lazy. Like this Jacob Castro, I tried to get rid of, or Eric Holt, this card I tried to get rid of for a while. And then like Kang Seong Jin, somebody told me he was the next Youngman son, and I was like, oh, I should probably keep that card. He's not, by the way, the next. Maybe he is. He's certainly not the now. Pele Bovink. Goalies I really struggle getting rid of because it's like less about the value if they end up becoming starters and more just like, oh, that's another lineup I can play. But I think like there's so many cards in my gallery that I really, not like I shouldn't have, but it just doesn't, they're not producing enough for me. And I say that because the example I was going to use is like that Akito Fukumori card that I talked about on Friday. And I was like, wow, Fukumori is back. And I generally like that's not a card that like I play regularly. And of course he gets a 49 AA this past game week, or this current game week, however you want to call it. With a big chance created. 5 attempted assist. Mike Basson said Bovink had a blinder this weekend. I didn't even know he played. That guy is just awful. Major NFT said, can't part with goalkeepers, be burned too many times. Yeah. So it's funny because I feel like I've gotten rid of goalies and they've become starters. But it's like I'm keeping goalies I would never buy just for and I wouldn't buy them because they're no good. And yet I hold on to them because I'll have a lineup if JT Chells, I hoard some U23s just for their potential use. U23s are also really hard to part with for me because I'm like, maybe they'll be good one day. And I tend to just totally like gauge them on age. Like if it's a 23-year-old U23, I'm like, all right, I'll get rid of that. Hoodwink said, I also want a Ringo Mirveld, in limited, so ended up buying him in rare as well for the full Willem 2 stack half collection like a degen idiot. I wouldn't call it a degen idiot. Mike said he's in the 3 Bundesliga. That's Bovink. Okay. But like, so this Mirveld card, Hoodwink and everyone else, like it's a rookie, it's an age mint, even though that's not really a thing, meaning mine is 18 of 100 and he's 18 years old. It's a honeycomb rookie. It's a cool card. And Are there even like nobody's even buying classic Ringo Muirvelds? And he's been okay for this season. Like he's had a couple spikes, I guess. I don't know. Um, but like, why do I have this card? What? Maybe because there are only 33 classics. Is this a collectible? Are we going to live in a time where somebody's going to want a Ringo Muirveld rookie card? I mean, he's still U23. I can't remember if that was 22 or 21. Like, look at this. This is a very exclusive club that I'm a part of. And Pavel's trying to sell it for 25 bucks when we should be selling this card for millions. He doesn't even have a unique card. It's also a Colert forward XP booster. Is that right? Is he in that collection? I feel like that's something I should know. Who else is in this collection who starts? I feel like I looked at this recently and I was like, oh, none of these guys. There's Che Nuns. Oh, Jiz Hornkamp. Okay. There's Colert. I didn't even know Colert was in this collection. Real talk. Had no idea. Wait a minute. He must have. Did he transfer mid-season? Because I definitely have a Colert Honeycomb. Oh, it is a Willem card. That's so funny. This entire time I thought that was a Heerenveen card. Literally. When he gets his big move, he'll be worth a fortune. Colonel Dickweed said agement is not a thing, which is bullshit because I just said it. Just because you guys are not sophisticated enough to appreciate an agement doesn't mean that they don't exist. That sounded very offensive to who said that? To Colonel Dickweed. I apologize for that. I didn't mean it to come off that way. But the only reason you guys say that is because you don't have things like a jersey agement card, a jersey agement rookie card from the 2021-22 Ren collection. You guys are just jealous. That's all. Anyway, heard Muirveld's good on the drums. And I actually thought that was a very bad joke, but I put it up here because I'm just hoping enough people appreciate at least the nuance of this joke, even though it's not funny. This is a thinking man's stream here. Bang. Major NFT. I love agents. See? Can't hoard an agent. Can only collect them. But generally, I was going through my gallery, or I was thinking I need to go through my gallery and kind of clear out what I don't like, clear out the hoard, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that's a term you can use, but there's kind of this, it's not an argument because it's not an argument, but well, actually PSU fans too and Gator Guy 231 argue about this, that Keith, Gator Guy, is long on the side of get rid of your junk. You're hoarding, like there's no reason for you to have that many cards. And that you should really only have cards that affect your gallery, your SO5 lineups. And so you have like the players that you think are optimal for your lineups and for your gallery, wherever they are, and collection cards that help those cards get better. And I have really tried to focus myself on that over the last year, I would even say, in that every card I acquire is either of a player that I want, that I think is going to be good for SO5 for whatever reasons, good upcoming matchup, or I think they're just a very good, they're set piece taker on a good team, or cards that help those cards get higher collection score. And particularly with the way that XP is changing, I think collection score is more important. And Sean's kind of the opinion of, I'm going to keep all of my cards because I might need them at some point. That they're, and the one time that I need them and I win, that means they paid off. And so it's obviously a very different way of thinking. And Looking for Food said Sean wins more than Keith, right? And I think the difference is that Sean, like the amount of money that they have put into this game is significantly different. Like I think Sean wins because just based on volume, like if you're going to spend a lot more money, you're going to win more often. And that doesn't necessarily mean because you're buying all the best players, which he does, but it also just gives you access to more lineups. And so you're going to win more if you play more. It's as simple as that. Even if you're bad at the game, if you have more lineups, you are going to give yourself more opportunities to win. And so I don't think comparing like who wins more often more is fair, especially because Sean has long played things that Keith just never did. Like Keith, I don't think Keith ever like really played U23 for a long period of time, um, and they're moving kind of in different directions now. That Sean, well, Sean is kind of still doing what he wants in terms of the number of cards, and I don't think he sells most of his rewards. He does sometimes like trade them for more cards. Like Sean very rarely will turn one reward into cash, like a great reward, as opposed to turning that into like 5 or 6 classic cards. And the way that I've kind of gone about it is just that is I'm okay acquiring cards, but I want them to be valuable in terms of SO5. So like I bought some Racing Club 2025 cards, rares, and I've been buying some collection pieces to it. And people who listen to this podcast regularly know that like know about Doguchin Haspelot. And somebody told me how to pronounce that name and I forgot how to do it already. But I really like him. And today I bought 2 collection cards to help. I realized that like and this sounds like really ugly, but like my Westerloo collection is not that high for him. Like I'm still at just 2%. And I think it's a really valuable card. And so I bought 2 more cards. I'm going to have to get another one today, which is really annoying, to at least get it to 3%. I'm not going to go much higher because it just pains me to do that. But I bought this Cone van Langendonk, who was the goalkeeper for a while when Sinan Bolat got benched. Van Langendonk got benched as well in favor of Andreas Youngdahl, who they got from somewhere in Austria. But this is a jersey mint, and I got it for $2. It shows $2.26 for some reason, but I paid $2 in cash for the jersey mint. And then I bought this Julian Plasias who is apparently an American. I had no idea. Some 18-year-old, and this is a rookie card, which let's reveal it right now and see if we get a special edition. I got this card from Rouve and traded like a reward and I think 10 cents. I don't know, but let's see. Let's open it. See if we get a special, which would like Sorare should not give me a special edition so that I go out and buy one. Oh, actually, you know what? Because it's rookie card, yeah, the special edition doesn't even count. But it's not a special edition anyway. And he looks very happy to join Lairdinho FC. But now I have to. Krupke said, doesn't it get the rookie XP now while unveiled? Yeah, that one does. And I still have 21 cards that I can't open. Some of which are 2024 cards that have just been sitting here, like this Nick Olai that I bought at the beginning of the season. Actually, this Bass one should be able to be, maybe Bass will get a card at wherever he is, Braunschweig or wherever the hell he is. I don't know. Maybe that's who they played. I don't know. But anyway, so I bought those 2 cards basically today to try to get to closer to 3% for that Haspelot. Servia said, I get that folk like to collect the teams they like, but there are definitely folk who think they are building strategic collections, but in reality, they're throwing money against the wall. So I think he adds like not all collections are the same. So I think you're right about that, Surf. But I think that there is a genuine difference between building a collection because you think that a number of those players will be useful in the future versus building collections around specific players to make sure that they are as powerful um, as they can be. And so like that Westerloo collection, now I haven't really spent that much money. So what do I have now? 7 cards. And thank you, somebody pointing that out. Rikamon was the last one. So like this is on 3%. So I bought 2 cards today for $5 total. And I don't even know if it was no, it wasn't $5 because I won this Antonio Roca card, recent sales of $3.51, which God knows if I would be able to get that much money on it. And a dime, 10 cents for that rookie card. And then I paid $2 for this Cone Van Langendonk. So out of pocket, $2.10 to boost a card that I really like by another percent. So I got this Jordan Boz jersey mint. I bought this Piedford. That was a disaster. That was when I actually thought he might be good. But I have this Fixella's, if that's how you say it, jersey mint. This Madsen card I thought would be useful, and it's absolutely not. And then here's that. Like for 3%, that's not bad. I guess I like I want to go back and be, well, this Piedford one. I bet I spent a lot of money on this one. $23. That's embarrassing. This Madsen one was expensive. 43, thinking that he was going to be their guy next to Haspelat all season, and then he out of nowhere went to QPR and doesn't play. But you're right. Like Surf, I think that like this Midtjylland collection, I think that I will get use out of lots of these cards over time. Like Ousmane Diao got linked to I don't know if somebody's here. But Galatasaray, one of the Turkish clubs, like he could go. Paulinho's been trying to go back to Brazil. Osorio is certainly going to go somewhere. He was linked to Liverpool for a while. Simsier, did I skip Simsier? Oh, where's Simsier? Here he is. Simsier is way too good. Emiliano Martinez is already already in Brazil. And then when those guys leave, players like Gagorza and where is Beiskopf, and Gagorza is not Kruger Johnson is what he shows up as. And those guys like take over and they become useful. So I think I'm actually getting more use out of this Midtjylland collection, certainly, than that Westerloo one, which is also why I went to 5% on this one. But yeah, and somebody's talking about Ola to Toronto, which I never bought an Ola, and I'm not going to. I don't even have bucks. Where is Ola? Here he is. $38. That's actually not. That probably is bad, actually. But Midtjylland are a great team to collect. They have an awesome record of developing guys. Yeah, but I think and that's like one of the collections that I think people can build. Like you build that collection not because of a single player that's very good, but because that might actually pay off in the future. Now I say that in the future, like grinding classic competitions maybe won't be worth it, but maybe it will be. Who knows? And just like that, La Liga lineup that turned into a contender lineup that we saw from Braden earlier. It's like those are the things that can happen. It won't get an in-season utility based on Midtjylland because all of these guys are still here for the most part, except for Ola. I don't know what, and Emi Martinez won't play for a while. But you're not wrong that like not all collections are the same. Like I said, you're not doing it because you like Haspelat. It's because you use H's. What does that mean, Mike? It's because you use H's. I don't know. Cam Persk said, what is the sweet spot for a collection, percentage-wise, 2 or 3%? 2 is really easy to get. And so it depends on the collection and it depends on the cards, like, and of the cards in the collection. Like the easiest way to get a collection of 5% is to do an in-season one. And Mike said, hold on, sorry, I want to go back to that. Oh, you're not doing it because you like Hasbulla. It's because you like using him. But I like using him because he's good. Like he's a very good scorer on this platform. For a terrible team. And I say this, and now he's like in this terrible patch right now. But like anytime he gets a decisive, not anytime since he just got one, but like a decisive in a lot of these games gets him to 80 points. And he's not that expensive. And I got it cheap. So I think that we're going to get to the point where building 5% collections is optimal. And I just don't know if like that's financially probably not great for a lot of people, but at some point, like you're going to be behind, and the collection bonus is the way to get to catch up and or differentiate yourself. Like that, I can't imagine there. Like my Haspelot, like this card is level 8. And I think I boost did I had to have boosted it, I'm sure. Level 8 seems low though. Oh, that's the new level 8, right? So whatever the hell it was, whatever. So I have 8% XP bonus. So it was level 16, I guess, 15, and then I got it to 16. 3% collection bonus and 5% season bonus. And I'm just like, certainly for a player like Haspelot, like how many 16% Haspelots could there be for this season? 15. Let's see. Look at that. And I'm only at 3%. Now, that granted, this isn't like a card that everybody needs to have. But I've got a full percentage point on all these guys. So when Haspelat has that big game, there we go. And from like the Midgeland side, there are probably way more Midgeland collections than there are Westerlo. But let's see, Simseer, like my Simseer is at 17%, which I'm pretty sure I boosted that one too. Like how many 17% 2024 Simseers are? Yeah. Me and Niemi, of course. Of course. Both special edition cards too. But there you go. Nobody has stronger Simseer cards than us for this season. Krupti said the thing about 2, once you get to 2, you're so close to 3 after 3 months. Shame to not bring it to that point then. I will say the 90 days is brutal. Johannes said my FCSP collection is only winning me money thanks to the 5% collection this game week. Love that. Ace Pair said, surely you just need to sell or trade the stuff you no longer use. For example, the Circle Bruges KSV limited with 2 cards. KSV? Circle Bruges KSV. Is that my... I don't know what KSV is. I don't even know what Circle Bruges cards I have. Oh, is that... Oh, Circle Bruges KSV. That's really funny. I was like, what is that? And that's literally the name of their team. So like, yeah, these two. Like this Jersey Mint, Age Mint, Hans van der Bruggen, that one with the 2 thumbs. I think that's a collectible card. This other one, maybe I get rid of. And this Thibaut Summer, somebody sent me to help with the collection for van der Bruggen, which I feel like would be insulting to get rid of it. What did I pay for this card? Oh God, Tuggy gave it to me. Rodrigo Guth. I remember that guy. Wait, Tuggy gave me that one. I think this one came from Gator Guy. Yeah. Do we trade or he just sent it to me? I sent him a Seamus Coleman. Ace pair, who would even take these cards? It's one of those that like I got to send him to a trader as part of like a, oh, take my good cards, but then also take these, please. But you're right. I'm never using that card. Either of these. Actually, I used Summers not recently, but I did use them. Did I win a reward? No, of course not. But yeah, that's exactly the card. And this Dino Hodich, this is so painful. I was so excited to finally get that card. I will also add that Dino Hodich, not nearly as good as the OGs remember. Like we all remember this patch here where he was just like the best player on the platform. And he just really wasn't that good after that. Or before that. Look at that run. 85, 100, 66, 79, 76, 60, 72, 65, 100. Then 44 and 36, but then back to it 84, 82, 70, 97, and 96. What was that? Game week 216? Like, look at this run. Look at that run. And now he's in Poland. I actually have no idea if he's still in Poland. Mike said Hodich was trash apart from the accidental patch of form. I mean, this is a long patch of form. But then if you're like, no, he is in form, I'm going to keep going. And oh my God, it did keep going. But then you get to here and you're just like, what happened? He was in form. Then he had a hat trick away to Ghent out of nowhere. Why not? And then off to Poland. Does he know it's uncovered? They don't even go to Europa. So frustrating. Anyway, but yeah, those are the types of cards that like if you just go to the back of your gallery and you're just like, what are these cards? Like genuinely, you go to the back, click that double arrow and just say, what's the oldest stuff I have? So these three cards right here, Ilambe Mboyo, who I think went to jail. There was something sketchy with him. Marcelo from Lyon, who I think quit on the team. I don't remember. And then Takuto Hayashi, who was the backup at San Frecce. Sorare gifted me these three cards when I joined so that I could play SO5. And none of Marcelo actually wasn't bad. He was not bad. But then Keaton Parks is the first card I ever bought. So I keep that one because it's like sentimental. I'm not a collector, but it's sentimental. And I hold this João Felix for the same reason, other than also just I'm dumb. Rakitsky, Clement Diop, Kim Tae Hwan, Zelarayan is back. So I use him now. I use this Armani card all the time. This Jaume Dominic I bought thinking he was going to get a start. I think he actually got a start. And then I ended up keeping it like I do, like everyone. Oh, this guy's going to be more expensive. And so I bought it and then decided to play it. Probably the same with Brian Meredith. Like, what am I doing? It's mostly these cards are just like worthless. Kelvin Lairdinho. I would probably should just give these away. Thor Aronson, Adrian Lozano. Not sure why I got that card. Like a lot of these. Taiki Yamada was like, I went on this run of like buying cheap goalies, cheap under 23 goalies, thinking that they would be starters one day. I say cheap. Let's see what I meant by cheap. $72 for this random guy. And Leandro Desabato is a card that Andy Black told me to buy once. And that was a mistake. Karupti said that Angelari is going to Corinthians. All right. That's part of the River Plate collection, though. So, like, I'm not, that's a, like, that collection, that's like a pride point for me. Stupidly, but it's a pride point because I'm first in that collection. And that just means something to me. I didn't know I was second in this one. Who's in front of me? So we're probably, oh yeah, they're like way ahead. Yeah, I remember that. Mike said, Lozano you got because he was decent before being injured the past 2 years. No, Mike, that's a different Lozano. That's Brian. This is Adrian. Genuinely, I don't know why I own that card. But this is hoarding. Still holding on to these cards. Kim Min-tae, he's still active. Higashiguchi, he's done. I mean, he's like a backup now, but he doesn't start. De La Cruz is part of the River Plate collection. Like Barraza is a backup now. Melly Muhlenstein, I never use. Mandela Egbo, I definitely paid way too much for this card. No, $23. Actually doesn't sound so bad anymore. Stephen Cleveland, still can't get a starting job. There's Fukumori. Yeah, I bought the wrong Lozano. I think I owned a Brian. I certainly owned a Brian Lozano at some point. But like these cards are just the definition of hoarding. That if I end up playing these cards, you're just like, really? Jonathan Mensah doesn't even play anymore. There's Ringo. This is a Jonas Hoffman jersey mint. Rakitic, 1 of 1,000. Eder Balanta, Secco. I actually used those cards recently. I spent a lot of money on this. Cisse Sandra. He plays with Ringo Mierveld now. Vinny Souza. There's a Yari jersey mint. Jonas Hoffman. Is that a 1 of 100? Yeah, it is. Germany card. Like, what am I doing with these? I think the problem is that nobody wants them. Like, genuinely, how much does a Daniel Royer Red X Super Rare go for? There's the Carlos Healy one. Adon. The Coates is here somewhere. Tyler Pasher. Like, what? And I hold on to these like for the fear that like they become useful again. But like, in what world do I get rid of Bakai, Dabasi, Rare, and Super Rare and regret it? I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird... But there are just a lot of cards. Like, and not that there's anything wrong with having this many cards. Like I'm talking about... Don Q said there's no way you can get rid of that junk anyway. And that's sort of the way that I'm starting to feel about it. Agent Cooper said Jonas Hoffman was the streakiest player ever on Sorare. He barely plays now, but if he goes to MLS, his price would spike. Is he supposed to go to MLS? Jose said those national team cards are cool, though. They are. I actually have I think my Bern Leno is from that collection. Yeah. Same collection as that Hoffman. That's a cool collection. But ultimately, it's just like, what am I doing holding on to these cards? And like some of them I still play. Like cards I've had for a long time. I play this Tadic all the time. This Alexandru Maxim was a great card. And I actually had 2 super rares. And he just decided to stop being a good footballer as soon as I sold one to Harry Trades. There's Coates, who plays in Uruguay now. Tony Watt jersey mint. Like I use some of these cards. Where's Jackson Muleka these days? Saudi Arabian club Al Khulud. That's not one I know. But so what do we do with these? Rever? Where's Zarchi? Zarchi got me to buy. He didn't like tell me to buy Rever, but we have an inside joke about Rever because we both had one. Gabriel Florentin's coming back. Like, what's the play here? Don says you can lock them in a deep, cold vault in the near future, maybe. You're right. You're right. Maybe that's what's coming. Pedro Santos really doesn't even have a job now. And Christian Gutierrez does. Agent Cooper says, does anyone remember Sorare announcing their partnership with the Argentina national team, yet we never got their cards, only France, Belgium, Germany, and France, I think. So I think when they got PSG, when Messi went to PSG, they were like, all right, we don't need the Argentina stuff now. Kampersk. What is a good thing to do? Buy in season, play them next year, classic, and then sell off. Forget about sell off. Like genuinely, we need to like get that out of our head. Like we spend mind resources thinking when's the best time to sell these cards when we should be using our mind resources on what's the best way to yield from these cards in the game. And if the best way of yielding is selling them, like, some get more expensive and you can sell that, that's great. But like, and I say this as a show talking about hoarding, but the game is meant to hoard now, right? Like, the idea is you buy in-season cards, you try to win in season, you try to win cash, and when those cards are no longer in season, you hold on to them so you can play Classic. And in Classic, you can win new season cards that will help you win cash. But it's obviously meant to like hoard. I think the difference is if you're hoarding things that are helpful to you, then that's okay. That's not collecting. It is still hoarding. But you're at least holding on to cards that you think will be valuable in the future. And by valuable, I mean able to yield from them in the game. And that doesn't mean like all of the cards, like some of these random cards that I still hold, a Javier Cabrera super rare for the like 3 times the entire calendar year where his team happens to be playing a Copa Libertadores match or Sudamericana, whatever the hell they're in. And he might start, which I never know. And they have a good matchup. And I have to play it in All-Star, probably All-Star limited. And like, why? Nobody's going to buy this card. That's right. He's at Pennyroll right now. Like the last rare got it 4 days ago. It's got to be yeah. They got it 4 days ago because they sold out. Like nobody's buying a single Javier Cabrera rare, let alone a super rare. $14.72 is the floor. It's probably not even. And the last one sold 5 months ago for $10.59. So like, but like, what's the? Even if like, is it even still worth me holding on to that card versus even just giving it away or selling it for $1? Camper said not special for best time to sell, more like now that they're only taking dust in the collection. Well, it depends. If they're in a collection, like older cards that are in collections, that's different than older cards that are just not doing anything for you, that you just own. Krupti said bought 5 months ago for that one Libertadores game. Yeah. Bob Franklin said, let's see what happens with MLB this season. Maybe we can vault our unwanted cards just to get them out of our lineup builders and Sorare data. I mean, so let's go to that announcement because I think that's actually really like, this actually might push me more towards what I was trying to kind of explain here. Where is that? I have to go to baseball. MLB, Sorare sneak peek. All right. Ace Pair said, you can trade with the traders who will take a bunch of cards for pence. It's probably not worth it. You are probably best keeping them. I'm starting to disagree that they're best kept. Mike said vault equals burn, which is not true, Mike, because you can take them out of the vault. That's the funniest thing about it. But anyway, you can now seal cards in your very own vault, preventing them from being sold. But ultimately, hold on. High vault and player loyalty levels unlock perks like competition reward multipliers. By sealing cards, you can earn more cash, essence, and market credits from gameplay. So if I seal my Javier Cabrera super rare in the vault, most importantly, my Javier Cabrera jersey mint super rare, which I didn't even know. How much value am I really getting out of this? I have no other cards from this collection. I don't think I even own a single other Argentinos card. current player or past player. This is it. I genuinely think I would get zero benefit by, what's the verb? By sealing this card in a vault. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm starting to wonder if, like, am I really going to get to a point where I'm like, man, I really wish I hadn't sold that Javier Cabrera card so that I could have sealed it in the vault. That was a huge mistake. Because, and then, like, I'm struggling to see the connection of where that card is linked to any other card that would benefit me in the game. But maybe they're just doing it as like a, however many cards you want in the vault, just go. Maybe I shouldn't sell any of these cards until I see what the MLB idea is for vaults, since we don't have any details. Mike said Florentin is not Argentinos. Oh, you're right. It's a different collection though. But you're right. Good call. So I have, yeah, the honeycomb of both. All right. I guess Javier Cabrera is staying forever in the vault. Don Q said there should be a cool app or website where you can trade your unwanted useless cards with others for whom it might hold a little value in their collection, sort of like a Sorare Tinder match. I think there are a few people, like we've talked about that before. That was part of the idea of like the card tags on Sorare Data when we had them on a while ago. But I think there are people who tried to do that. Mike said swap Cabrera for a honeycomb. But I have a jersey mint. Let's see who else is in this collection. Kevin McAllister. Marco, is it De Cesare or De Cesare? I don't know how you say his name, but he's at Racing right now. There's Javier Cabrera. Look at Avalos going the other way. Only one in the whole. Is he the only one? And Vega is straight up. But everyone else, right shoulder to us. Gabriel Avalos said, no, I'll go left shoulder. So I lose the jersey mint. Actually, let's see. Was the jersey mint Javier Cabrera on the market? It is 1 of 10. It is 1 of 10. And that would get my Florentin up. Oh, man, Mike, so smart. Let's just propose it 1 for 1. I can assure you I will not spend any money on this. Let's do it. Sorry, I'm not sharing my password with you guys. I bet I have to put in my stupid authenticator. Swap for the jersey mint. You're right, Mike. Mike Baston, thanks. See, this is why you should never get rid of your cards. You should just hoard as many as possible. All right. The offer is sent. If you were Cash Arc, would you do this? Like, I would see no reason to do that. Surely they're just trying to get rid of that card. Why did they have this card? Bought almost 2 years ago. It's the two of us. They sent Daniel for Javier Cabrera in 0.2. That's not, I don't know. It seems bad now, but who knows? Like, that's right. Thank God you didn't lurk. Yeah. This is why I like this. I need you guys. Like, I've said this before, that the chat is so important to these shows. This whole channel is so important, or so reliant on the live chat, that this is what happens. This is why great things happen. James Stevenson, longtime lurker, first time chatter. Get in. I buy any cards for the team I support, even though we are Red X, as we're in League One, in the hope one day I'll get to use my club's cards. James, what club is it? And were they so rare card? Like they were minted cards of a team that then went down to League One, or is it just players who are in from anyone? I buy any cards for the team I support, even though we are Red X. Yeah. You see how many Red X's I have? Reading FC, so not anytime soon. Yeah. All right. I don't even know. Like, do I have any players from Red? I doubt I do. Junior Hoylett? Wait. Wasn't he somewhere else? Anyway. Players from other collections. All right, let's see. I don't think I have any of these guys. Shane Long, wow. Yeah. I was happy to send you one, but I don't have any Reading players. I can't wait for Wrexham to get into Sorare if they get promoted. Does seem like something that they would do. Meaning Sorare. And Wrexham, actually. Sorry, I'm going back to my Argentinos. Yeah, I guess that card would get my Florentin up another percent. Which is funny because I don't have any other cards from the rare collection too. Obviously, it's the same collection, but in rare. Let's see, any jersey mints? Oop, manager sales, Argentinos. Redondo's the only one. Nobody's selling any Argentinos cards? Oh, wait. MLS double up. I knew I clicked something. All right. Rare. This is what it's all about right here. 26 honeycombs. Do we have any jersey mints? Guys. Why not? Why won't this let me change to 1? How silly. Literally 1, 2. I don't want 2 of 2. 1. Oh, wait a minute. Do I stop? What are we doing here? Anyway, sorry. You guys don't need to watch me do that. The reason I did that on Sorare is because on Sorare data we do current team, and it just doesn't work. Sporting Classic said, I'm still gutted that they didn't renew with Coventry in the championship. Limited licenses with teams in the league, but at least it's still playable. Fingers crossed that doesn't change. I don't think that'll change. Mike saying Ultimate Champions has League One coverage. I didn't think that existed anymore. Meaning Ultimate Champions, not League One on Ultimate Champions. But I could be wrong. I never got into it, so I can't. But I remember when they changed. There was a big change and everybody got upset. But I don't know. The biggest problem is I'm just such a sucker for jersey mints. Like this Alexander Grant, like I bet he never plays in a covered league again, but this is a jersey mint and I won it. This Kai Clefish, also a jersey mint that I won. Igor Silva, super rare jersey mint. Oh, Mike said UC still going. Oh, good for them. Good for them. Giuliano, I bought this card for way too much for what I used it for. $31. Flair nailed me on it. Man, there's Brian Lozano. Hey, I do have one. I did finally get the right one. But yeah, there's just like Christian Brules. Where is he now? Oh, look how close I am. Oh, no, it's just maxed. Sorry. Where are you now? Second division in Belgium. Okay. All right. Whatever. Anyway, I think it would be beneficial for all of us to kind of go through our galleries at some point. I'm not saying it's a rush, or um, maybe we wait to see what the ceiling thing is, meaning vault ceiling, not like somebody else's floor. But I don't know. I just collecting cards is a lot of fun, and let's just make sure we're collecting instead of hoarding. Um, so yeah. Agent Cooper said, just doing my lineups for this midweek, and I see my Real Sociedad keeper has a AAA rating, the opposition Midgelaird. Yeah, it's an appropriate rating. And Mike, I'm not looking to get everybody's junk. Johanneton said, I have a Dryer FCM jersey mint. Just can't wait to use them in MLS. Oh, that's a great card. Sporting Classics, my evening equals decluttering. That's like basically what I did in this room with my wife. That sounds really weird when you just like say it like that. But anyway, decluttering, yeah. Toby Alexander said, I feel like we have so many Tobys here. I love it. I've literally started a few days ago, and I feel like it's such a good time for me to start with the price of some of these cards. Toby, like, welcome to Sorare. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate that. And I completely agree. It's a great time to start. Let's just make sure you know make sure you have a plan. That's all. That's all. Happy to help if you want to drop a comment below or, DM me on wherever. Andrew M. Laird, certainly on Twitter. And I think that's what I am on Discord. So yeah. Welcome. That's all I got today. I'll be back tomorrow, I think, with Harry Trades. I haven't talked to him about it, but it's Tuesday. And we'll probably do a what would you do? Because that's what we do on Tuesdays. So if you have any questions, Toby, who said I'll put I put $100 just to experiment. Come back tomorrow. It'll probably be at noon Eastern in the US, 5 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. in the rest of Europe. And just that's what we do. We answer questions of what we would do with people's cards and galleries. So come back for that. Thank you, everybody, for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. And now that we're done, and if you haven't done so already, please make sure to get outside.